I urge you to buy all these books that Robert and Greta have put out so bravely and beautifully. This book, the theme of it is flying. I read a couple of poems about birds and one about bees. The introductory quote is from Emily Dickinson. I hope you love birds too. It's economical. It saves going to heaven. And the first one is called The Last Dodo, has an Oxford connection. Why, said the dodo. The best way to explain it is to do it. Lewis Carroll, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Lewis Carroll was nicknamed the Dodo because of his inveterate stutter. Asked his name, he'd reply, Dodgson. He found Carroll easier to utter. So Charles Ludwig Dodgson, the clergyman, became Lewis Carroll, author of distinction, who'd revive the dodo in his Alice in Wonderland, the real dodo having suffered from extinction. For Lewis Carroll had been very intrigued by something he'd seen in a museum, a large cropped, bulbous bird that was stuffed and could be seen in the old Ashmolean. 200 years before, a dodo had been captured by sailors stopping off in Mauritius. They'd thought it part goose, part vulture, and were fearful, sailors being naturally superstitious. But the bird was fearless and easily lured aboard by an offer of unlimited ship's biscuits. By miracle, the bird survived the crew's curiosity, and they're wondering if it tasted delicious. After it had lived out its life in England, a taxidermist was called when it died. He stuffed it and, to retain its luxuriant plumage, cunning preservatives were applied. The first owner in its afterlife was John Tredescant, who passed it on to Elias Ashmole, since when this comical but salutary creature has become a curator of the earth's soul. For through it, man's begun to learn that extinction can last for the rest of time, and he can wistfully cherish a creature whose life was ended by a carnivorous crime. A Dutch sailor, Volkert Everts, described the bird as showing concern for its fellow creatures. When I held one, he cried, and others ran forward to help the bird that was held prisoner. In Wonderland, the dodo is portrayed as benign, given its invention of a caucus race, in which everyone entering ends up winning, and accordingly is then given a prize. People say that something's as dead as a dodo, as if relishing the gentle giant's demise, yet it lives on as an innocent victim of that progress, which chooses sunset over a hopeful sunrise. The dodo may have died out from being too nice, large and flightless, with an excess of trust. Those who last saw it alive in the 17th century said the dodo was friendly, and now it's dust. When it was alive, it was briefly displayed in London as part of an urban freak show. In death, it's become a testament to the folly of man, more deserving of derision than the dodo. For years, the Ashmolean was an uncategorized jumble. The museum was nicknamed the Knick-Knackatory. It was crammed with curios, such as Guy Fawkes's lantern. But the dodo was its dead star, with its tall story. The next one is just 3 verses. It's called St. Francis and the Birds. and Ken Campbell's parrot. Though St. Francis preached to the birds, they may have known as much as he did. Ken Campbell's parrot used to say, "I was an egg until I hatched out." Even wittier was, "I can talk. Can you fly?" St. Francis couldn't. And the last one I'll read is bees. Wise bees will tell you, natura in minima maxima, kindly translating it as nature is the greatest in the smallest things. Bees, making life sweet, made man's harsh evolution more tolerable. Almost each mouthful of food owes its existence to pollinating bees. It's been said if bees disappear, man has only a few years to live. Bees are eusocial, meaning their life is ordered for the benefit of everyone in the hive. Construction workers, nurses, guards, grocers, housekeepers, foragers and gigolos and undertakers. Man's society is largely antisocial, a kleptocracy. Man who steals from bees repays them with pesticide, yet they dance to work. Emma Goldman said that all revolutions should involve dancing, but no revolution has produced anything as good as bees. And Tolstoy believed that they devised the ideal society for man. No society has a talisman with the power of honey. 1 ounce of honey enables a bee to fly around the whole world. If bees' stamina is scaled up to human level, man is quite outclassed. A bee beats its wings over 11,000 times in a minute. Its brains a cubic millimeter, whose wiring beats silicon chips. A bee, said Karl Marx, can put architects to shame in constructing cells. A bee's venom is the most powerful substance in the natural world. Bee acupuncture can extend man's lifespan by curing arthritis. A bee's venom can open up neural pathways following a stroke. Honey can dress wounds. Since microbes can't live in it, it's antiseptic. Alexander the Great was embalmed in honey and lasted decades. In Ephesus, bees would symbolize Artemis and stood for wisdom. So Pythagoras, Achilles, and Plato were fed honey in their infancy. The gift of heaven, Virgil called it. And in his Georgics he said it conveyed prescience. And the priestess at Delphi was called the Delphic bee, as her powers were oracular. She saw the future. Before Chernobyl was understood, bees wisely stayed in their hives. The priest Jonathan in 1 Samuel 14 would take some honey from a honeycomb. Then, as his hand met his mouth, his eyes were enlightened. The letters in the poet Deborah's Hebrew name, Deborah, means bee. It also means truth, both being on a mission to improve the world with sweetness and light. For if reason's sweet, why pull a sour face? Bees have made honey for 150 million years, and the pyramids, when rediscovered, showed that honey had been placed near Pharaoh's body, an immortal food which still tastes good, which still tasted good after 5,000 years. Bees defend themselves without paying someone else to do it for them. Bees' flower power is not a drug-enhanced dream. Their flying's for real. Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. Paradise. The buzzing of bees, indicating contentment, is archetypal. The soundtrack to the land of milk and honey. man's sustaining ideal. Each bee has 5 eyes. Mystics reckon a 3rd eye bestows occult powers. 5 eyes could give you the ability to see some things that man can't.